Don't stop recording, no matter what. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, and today we are back with episode 2 of my Halloween Spooktacular. I know that that's 2 of my Halloween Spooktacular. Today we are going to be doing a tier list. We're going to be doing a found footage movie tier list, because found footage is my favorite genre of horror. It's between that and slasher movies for me, are just the two genres I absolutely love. And I have seen 30 found footage movies, so I compiled them all into a tier list, and we're going to do it here for episode 2 of my Halloween Spooktacular. Now, I was going to give you my Saw ranking today, but my head feels like it's going to explode scanner style. So we're not going to be doing that one today, because that takes a little bit more thought and time to write a script. So I'll give you my Saw ranking in the next video. Obviously, my Halloween Spooktacular is, I'm going to be posting 13 videos for the month of October, so stay tuned for the other 11. The one I posted to start it off with was my top 50 horror movies, so if you want to see that, check it out. And for now, let's get into the tier list. Okay, so here we are at the tier list. At the top, we have Cinema, then Don't Stop Recording, Be Kind, Rewind, No Internet, and Cut the Camera. At the bottom, I tried to keep it like camera, found footage themed-ish. I was trying to do movie quotes, and I figured out Don't Stop Recording because that's in Rec, and then I was like, screw it, we're just gonna make them themed. So that's what the theming is for those. Let's get right into it with the Blair Witch Project, which is the most infamous found footage movie of all time. Obviously not the first, because Cannibal Holocaust is apparently credited as the first found footage movie, but this is the first good one. I actually haven't seen Cannibal Holocaust, so I can't say if it's good or not, but the Blair Witch Project, I'm going to stick in Don't Stop Recording. Now, I have nothing against the Blair Witch Project. I used to love this movie more than life itself. It used to even be in my top 50 horror movies. Now, especially after rewatching it, I realized that once you know what's happening in it, it kind of loses its magic after the first watch. I still really enjoy it. I think it's a very good movie, and it's super impactful for the found footage subgenre and the horror genre as a whole. So, very respected movie, not very rewatchable movie. So it's gonna go in Don't Stop Recording because I do like it, but not quite top tier. Then we have the Blair Witch remake, because Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 is, for the most part, not found footage. I don't know why, but if you're wondering, it would be in the top, because I love that movie. I'm sorry. But Blair Witch, the 2016 version, it's between these bottom two tiers, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it very... I'll put it in Be Kind, Rewind. It's not terrible. It's not awful. I would never seek it out to rewatch. If I was going to rewatch a Blair Witch movie, I'm going to pick the second one or the first one. So it's probably my least favorite of the three. It's just... It's a very basic, just kind of supernatural movie. Nothing really special about it. I hate that you get to see the Blair Witch in this one. You should never see the Blair Witch, ever, but you do in this one for some reason. Otherwise, I like some of the new things that they do, but just not a super original or different movie. It's fine. Next up, we have As Above, So Below, and if you just saw my top 50 horror movies 2 days ago, you'll know that As Above, So Below did make that list. That's because this movie holds a very special place in my heart. It is the first horror movie I ever watched. Not the one that got me into horror movies, that was Freddy vs. Jason, but the first one I ever watched. Now, that's why it made the list, but it's not the best movie. I'll admit that. It's not that good. It's pretty basic, but I do think it's very cool that they got to film in the actual catacombs for this movie, so I also really like the setting. The characters are pretty good, so I'm still going to stick in Don't Stop Recording. But I had it in my top 50 just because of the place it holds in my heart. I understand it's not the most amazing movie of all time. I've rewatched it. I've been like, I mean, it's fine. But yeah, as I said, holds a special place in my heart, so I love it for that. But it's not that good. Next up, we have One Cut of the Dead, and I know a lot of people actually haven't heard of this movie. If you're a horror fan, You've probably heard of this movie. If you're not a horror fan, you probably haven't heard of this movie. It's a foreign movie. That's probably why most people haven't heard of it. But yeah, it's a foreign movie. It's a zombie-ish movie. It is the most creative movie I think I've ever seen. Like, the most original movie. This movie is about people making a movie about people who are making a movie. Yeah, it's confusing. But if you watch it, this one you have to watch. I can't really explain it. So the premise is that, like, oh, it's a set. So they're filming a movie and they get attacked on the real set. But that is a movie being filmed by the characters in this movie. So the characters in the movie we are watching are filming a movie where people get attacked on the set of a movie. Does that make any sense? Yeah, probably not. Just watch it. It's very creative. It's very original. For that, I'm going to put One Cut of the Dead into Don't Stop Recording. I don't think it's personally the best movie. It's certainly not very horror. It's not very scary, but it was funny. And like I said, unlike anything I've ever watched, so I have to give it its flowers. Then we have Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. I think this might be the only found footage slasher movie. And just like what I said with One Cut of the Dead, this is a very unique and original movie. If you haven't seen Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, check it out, especially if you're a horror, or a slasher fan, rather. Freddy, Michael, and Jason are real people in this world, and it's about a guy trying to become a slasher villain. I don't know why this lady is recording a guy who's actively saying he wants to be a murderer, but that's besides the point. And I would have liked it to be a little bit more gory, especially for a movie trying to be a slasher film. There's little to no gore in here, so I'm going to stick it in Be Kind, Rewind, but as I said, very unique and definitely worth a watch. Then we have Hell House LLC, and this movie succeeds at what it's trying to do. It tries to be a scary movie, and it absolutely succeeds. There are multiple scary scenes in this. I always freaking hate that stupid clown. I hate him. He's terrifying. He scared me multiple times in this movie. So I'm going to stick it in Be Kind, Rewind. It's not going to be a movie that I rewatch all the time, but if I have a bunch of friends over and we're looking for a fun time getting scared, I'll throw on Hell House LLC. Then we have Unfriended. And rewatching Unfriended, I realized how much I love this movie. This is the first of the sub-genre of found footage screen life. I'm going to stick Unfriended all the way up into cinema. I love the original Unfriended. I think it is scary. I think it has multiple very terrifying moments, especially the freaking guy who sticks his hand in the blender. That always gets me. And also, it's about the ghost, the spirit haunting them. You get the backstory for it, that it's a girl that was bullied by this group of people and eventually ended up... I have to censor that, but you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, and it's just very good. It's very effective. I love Unfriended, so it's going to go up into cinema. We have Unfriended Dark Web, and I was actually very shocked by how much I liked this movie. I used to say it was better than the original Unfriended. I disagree with that now, just because I think I was more scared by this one because it's more real. It's less supernatural. It's just more real people on the dark web. And a lot of the dark web scenes scared me. Some of the swatting scenes scared me because that's something that happens to people in real life. Obviously, they don't get freaking shot like that, but just thinking that like that could happen to people because someone, tries to call the freaking FBI on them, and it's terrifying. The internet is a scary place. This movie encapsulates that perfectly. I am going to put it into Be Kind, Rewind, however. There are some parts of it that don't really work for me. The hackers, like, glitching whenever they're on camera, I just don't find that to be realistic whatsoever. And some of the performances don't work for me. The ending is a little bit just kind of tacked on. But otherwise, yeah, as I said, might be scarier than the original. Then we have our third and final screen life movie on this tier list, Host. Host came out in 2020, and it's now scientifically the scariest movie of all time, which I disagree with. I do agree found footage is very scary, but Host, it felt very familiar, especially because I've already seen Unfriended, and this does a lot of the same stuff, but it also does enough new stuff that it feels fresh. I'm going to stick it in Don't Stop Recording, because I just think it's too familiar to Unfriended to put it up in the same tier as Unfriended, so there we go. Next up, we have Wreck, and Wreck was a movie I was expecting to like a lot, but I think that it comes down to the fact that I don't... Foreign movies, it's not that I don't find them scary, I think that they can be scary, but for people who understand the language, because I'm not focused on a lot of the scary stuff sometimes because I'm so focused on the subtitles. And that's just a fault of that I can't speak Spanish, so if I could, then I'm sure this movie would be a lot scarier for me. There are still some very scary moments and very good acting in this. I didn't really love the main character, I'm going to be honest, so I still think it's a very good movie. So I'll stick it in Be Kind Rewind. I was considering putting it up to Don't Stop Recording, but I didn't love it quite on the level that most people do. As I said, it wasn't as scary for me as a lot of people. I think it's very unique, and I do enjoy it, but I'm not going to put it up into the top 2 tiers. We have Quarantine, and Quarantine is the American remake of Wreck, and obviously like I said, if Wreck was English, it would probably be a little bit scarier for me because I can understand the language. But this movie isn't scarier for me because it's just the original Wreck and I know everything that's going to happen. So I'm going to stick Quarantine down in No Internet. Still a movie that I would rewatch. That's the thing with shot for shot. It's not shot for shot, but like basically shot for shot. I mean, it's not like Psycho 1998, but it's pretty close. The thing with shot for shot remakes is that like I'm not going to dislike it because I like the original movie. But if I'm going to pick one to rewatch, it's going to be the original movie. Next up, we have Creep. And I don't think I've turned around on a movie quite like I have with Creep. Because when I first watched this movie, I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. It's now down to, I think, 3, maybe even 2.5. Because I did this video where I talked about the dumbest moments in horror movie history. And I realized how stupid the main character is. Every single thing this character does in this movie actively makes his own situation even worse. So I have started to not like Creep because every time I watch it, I'm like, this guy's an idiot. This guy is brain dead.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Stupid.
I still want to put it in Be Kind Rewind, because it does have some very unnerving moments. I think Joseph is a very scary antagonist. You get some very good scenes, like him with Tubby Time. It's a great scene. Very unnerving, without being like an outwardly scary scene. So there's some good parts about it. I just wish Aaron wasn't such a dumbass. Next up, we have Creep 2. And this one I never liked, even when I claimed to like the first movie. I still never liked Creep 2. I'm going to stick it down and cut the camera. It just feels like the same thing as the last movie, but you get this character. The main character in this one is a girl who is like kind of into it, but kind of not. And then like you can never tell when she's just acting for Joseph or when she's actually feeling something. So like it's just so confusing every single time she interacts with Joseph. You don't know how she's feeling because she might be super into it, she might be not into it and acting like she is, or she might be not into it and whatever. It's so confusing. I could not get it straight. So I did not like Creep 2 whatsoever. I didn't even think it was scary, so it's going to go down there. Next up, we have the Poughkeepsie Tapes. And the Poughkeepsie Tapes, I was not expecting to like this movie that much. I had been told that it wasn't very good. This was told in a documentary style, so there isn't much of a plot. It's just kind of a documentary that's told through a fiction universe about these tapes where there's like thousands of tapes and it's all of people that this guy has killed. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, they would have caught this guy. There's no way that somebody can murder thousands of individual people and never get caught. So I found that was highly unrealistic, but the rest of the movie I quite enjoyed. I think it's actually got some very scary and intimidating moments. So I'm not going to stick it in Don't Stop Recording. Just kept out of the top by the fact that like this dude would be behind bars. Next up, we have the VHS series, starting off with the original VHS. And I seriously considered putting it down into Cut the Camera, but there's one segment keeping it out of that, so I'm going to stick it in No Internet. That one segment is Amateur Night. I think that that is one of the best segments of the entire series. If you guys want a VHS segment ranking, comment down below for that, because I have a script written for it, so I can do it, but I just don't want to put so much effort into a video that you guys don't want, because there's 37 of those. And I might even do it when the new VHS movie comes out, but otherwise, this movie, the wraparound is horrible. It's about characters who you hate. They sexually assault women and record it, and they break into this house, and they just are genuinely assholes. So you hate them, and then you don't get to see them die. And then the other 4 segments are just completely okay. I did like the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger, which is a super long and stupid title. But next up, we have VHS 2, and I prefer the Years trilogy of the VHS series. That's 94, 99, 85. But the original trilogy, I don't hate. I think that VHS 2 is certainly the strongest of it by a country mile, but I'm still only going to put it in Be Kind, Rewind. This has 2 very good segments in Safe Haven and A Ride in the Park. The other segments, I could take it or leave it, honestly. Next up, we have VHS Viral, and Creep 2 is going to get a buddy down there and cut the camera, because, oh my god. Oh my god. This movie is... The wraparound is unwatchable. Never have I, considered something so unwatchable, because I can always find value in pretty much anything. But Vicious Circles is unwatchable. You can't understand anything that's going on, and they never explain it. Then you get the other 3 segments. Dante the Great sucks and is told through a documentary style. This is supposed to be footage that was found, like a VHS tape that was found, but apparently it's a documentary. Whatever. And it's straight up not found footage for some of it. Then you get Parallel Monsters, which is a very good concept that could lead to a very scary segment. And you know what they decide to do with it? Penis monsters. And then you get Bone Storm, which is just a segment about kids beating up zombie creatures. So, yeah, down the bottom, for sure. VHS 94 is up next, and this did top my list when I did my VHS ranking, and it's going to top this list and go straight up into the top. I don't dislike any of these segments. I think Holy Hell, the wraparound, is certainly the weakest of the segments, but there's 2 segments in this that I would consider in my top 5, and that's Storm Drain, which is my favorite segment, and The Subject, which I really, really enjoy. The other ones are fine. I think it's Empty Wake, and I'm blanking on the other one, but I remember I enjoyed it. So, very good. I like all of them, love a couple of them. Then we have VHS 99, and this one's going to go into Don't Stop Recording, because I like all of the segments. I just wouldn't say I love any of them. Then we get 85, and I think this is a drop-off from the previous 2. I'm still going to stick this one into Be Kind, Rewind, because I like Dream Kill. I like No Wake. So those are the 2 that I really love. Techno God, I didn't love. God of Death, I didn't like at all. The wraparound, I could take it or leave it. Actually, I'm going to bump VHS 85 down to no internet. Ambrosia was pretty boring too, so actually, yeah, I'm going to bump it down. Next up, we have VHS Beyond. And VHS Beyond, when I first watched it, I didn't love it. But that's just because I really hated the segment Fur Babies. But overall, these segments are pretty good. I'm going to stick this one into Be Kind, Rewind. You get Stork, which is a pretty fun segment. What's the one where it's kind of like The Fly, but in space? Stowaway. That one was very unique. And then Live and Let Dive is one of my favorite segments in the entire series. So this had some very good ones. Dream Girl, okay. Yeah, as I said, very good ones. It had some very good ones, but just a bunch of average segments. And then a couple that I really don't like. So, yeah, right in the middle there. Now we're on to the Paranormal Activity franchise, which, if you guys know me, is my second favorite franchise in horror history. That's because the first Paranormal Activity movie is my second favorite movie ever. I love it. So, obviously, it's going up to the top. I've talked about this so much recently. I did an entire video, 17 minutes long, talking about this movie. So, go check that out if you haven't. Yeah, go check it out. Next up, we have Paranormal Activity 2, and this one, I want to just put all of them in the top tier, but I gotta be honest, I gotta be true to myself here. I think it's a step down from the original, just slightly. I think it has some very scary moments, the characters are still very good, but definitely a step down from the original. I'm going to put it in Don't Stop Recording because I still really enjoy it, and I think it adds to the original Paranormal Activity trilogy, but not the best. Now we have Paranormal Activity 3, and this one I have to put up into cinema. I have this movie in my top 15 horror movies. I think it just missed out on my top 10 when I did my top 50 a couple days ago. So I love Paranormal Activity 3. I think it completely rounds out this original trilogy. And it manages to be scary, but also make it a believable prequel. Paranormal Activity 4. This one is I have a soft spot for this one partially because I love Catherine Newton, but also because I just think it's very fun. It's a very fun movie, but I will admit it's basically just the first three again. So I'm going to stick in Be Kind Rewind because it's one I'd rewatch. It's one I have rewatched, and I do enjoy this one. It's just, yeah, it is basically just the first three again. Marked ones. I don't want it to dominate the top tier, but I mean, this one was also in my top 25 horror movies, so I feel like I got to put it up there. Now we have Ghost Dimension, and I have fun with Ghost Dimension. That's because I love Paranormal Activity. And this is the conclusion of the entire Paranormal Activity saga. I'm still going to stick it into no internet. There are some very bad things about this movie, but there are some very good things as well. I think this is actually one of the few horror Christmas movies, if you didn't know. So I watch this one every Christmas because I love Paranormal Activity. Has some very scary moments. The characters are completely idiotic. And I hate the freaking ghost camera. Yes, a camera that can film ghosts. That's the premise of this movie, so yeah, I kind of see why people don't like this one. Next up, we have Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, and if you guys know my history with this movie, you'll know it's going down to the bottom. That's what you get for making a cash grab Paranormal Activity movie. Because after the sixth movie, Toby is a human. He wins. He becomes a human. He gets what he wants. He has a human body now, but how do you think they're going to continue the story, may you ask? You know, because there's a seventh one. How do you think they continue it? Completely new story, completely new entity, and then just, bam, paste the Paranormal Activity name on it. Hey, it's a new Paranormal Activity movie. Next up, we have The Visit, and The Visit, I'm going to stick in Be Kind Rewind. It's a movie I like, I enjoy. It's about creepy grandparents who smear poop in your face. And then we have Cloverfield, and this one was also in my top 50 horror movies, so it's going to go right up to the top in cinema. It's a very unique found footage movie in that it's not supernatural like most found footage movies are. It's a kaiju movie. Imagine if Godzilla was told from the perspective of one of the people from the streets just freaking holding a GoPro or something. Like, it is so insane and wild and fun, and I loved it. And this is my completed found footage movie tier list. As you can see, as I said, found footage is my favorite subgenre, so it's kind of skewed a little bit high, but I feel like I was still pretty fair on most of these movies, except for Paranormal Activity. I know I was biased on those. But you can let me know some of your thoughts on this tier list down below, and maybe some that I actually missed or that I should watch. I think this is all the ones that I have seen, so I didn't miss anything, but what are some ones that I should watch? And that is going to be it for today's video. Remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe so I want to see more videos like it in the future. Otherwise, you can comment down below some more video ideas for me, or stay tuned for the rest of my Halloween Spooktacular. I got 11 more videos lined up for you, and they are bangers, I hope. But yeah, stay tuned for those. Click on them when they come into your feed. Hit the bell notification if you want to be notified when I post those videos. Yeah, I'll see you next time. So, bye. You can click off now. No, really. You can click off. Oh, it's because I said don't stop recording. Well, guess we're just going to sit here then, aren't we? Whatever. All right, let's end it.